speaking of singers that have some issues,
Okay.
I'm going to read this article. I don't quite get it. I don't know why this is even an article.
Okay.
It involves a friend of ours,
Okay.
Steve Brown from Trixter.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I'm not sure what this is about, and I'm not shitting on Steve Brown, but I don't get the gist of any of this at all.
Okay.
Jon Bon Jovi's health condition sparked worries not only among fans, but also from a close friend and fellow musician. In an interview with Hot Metal,
Hot Metal got him. Wow.
Hot Metal,
Whoa.
Trixter Steve Brown shared an unforgettable encounter he had with Bon Jovi frontman in 2022 during the Gwyneth Paltrow's 50th birthday. At the time, it was during the music icon's recovery period after undergoing vocal cord surgery to address vocal cord atrophy, or in layman's terms, an aging voice.
Okay.
The last time we hung out was in 2022, right after he had that really rough tour and he had his first bout of vocal surgery, he told the outlet. I grabbed him and I pulled him away from Jerry Seinfeld and Steven Spielberg. Drop names much?
Yeah, no kidding. Wow.
Gwyneth Paltrow, Jerry Seinfeld, Steven Spielberg, Jon Bon Jovi.
Steve must have toured extensively with Chips Enough.
I guess.
He's the all-timer, but Steve's right in there.
That's a whole nother interview in itself, Brown further said as he went into detail about the encounter, adding, I pulled him away and I said, I love you, bro, and I want you to know I heard the tour and you've got some serious problems, I said.
Okay.
He said this to Jon Bon Jovi. As if Jon Bon Jovi doesn't know he sounded awful.
You're kidding me. What's going on?
And I'm just like, okay. I said, I had surgery around 10 years ago. I've been through the ringer. I'm not a doctor, but I know every trick. He looked at me and he said, I really appreciate that. I'll reach out to you if I need you.
In other words, go away.
Yeah, more or less. Like, why are you? Who are you?
Yeah. I've sold 150 million records. You've sold 150 records. Got it.
However, months after their last face-to-face conversation, the Trixter lead guitarist has not received any response from the Grammy winner despite reaching out.
I can't believe it. Come on, Neely. Can you read that again? I think you misread it. I think it says John called him immediately the next day and looked for his doctoring to help him with his throat.
Right, his counseling.
Yeah, is that not what you meant to say?
However, months after their last face-to-face conversation, the Trixter lead guitarist has not received any response from the Grammy winner despite reaching out through his team.
Wow.
Brown mentioned how he made a real effort to reach out, not just to offer support, but also to extend help. What were you going to do for him, Steve?
Hide behind the curtain and sing the songs? Whit crane it for money? Which would not be a terrible idea. If you've heard Steve Brown do this, he does it well.
And finally, I got his cell phone and his email, and I sent him an email, and I called him, and then I texted him, and I said, hey, man, I'm here. I told him I jammed with Bon Jovi keyboardist David Bryan in December, right before I launched Always Jovi. We played 3 songs together down there in Nashville. I told Dave the same thing, man, because Dave, we all want John to succeed, but you cannot go out there and be bad. There's no hiding it anymore. And we saw that the last thing that came out, that Tony Robbins special, which was recorded in September of 2025 and featured Bon Jovi's performance. And I'm not going to slag on anybody, but he's got a long way to go, noting the significant improvement needed before the band's highly anticipated concert.
Right.
Brown was referring to the Bon Jovi Forever Tour 2026, which will officially kick off July 7th with a multi-night residency at Madison Square Garden in New York City. After this, the band is set for a European tour covering major cities in the UK. Since this will be Jon Bon Jovi's first full-scale concert following his 2022 hiatus, Trixter raised concerns. They called him Trixter. Trixter raised concerns that the frontman might not be performance ready and could risk disappointing fans due to the unforeseen challenges during the tour.
All right, stop right there. First of all, Jon Bon Jovi has proven he does not give a fuck if he disappoints fans. He's in the David Lee Roth camp of,
right,
if I'm here, you'll be happy.
Yeah.
Secondly, and I have nothing to back this up other than a gut feeling, his vocals will be tracked.
Yeah, of course.
100% his voice will be tracked on this tour. You're going to see less spotlight on him and more of him standing in the back. A little bit back so he's not up front where people can tell he's lip syncing. And he is going to lip sync this tour. Come on. There's no way is he going out there going, shot through the heart and you're to blame. He's not doing that. There's no way. Not after all the attention and the documentary and the, all the emphasis on the surgery and him losing his voice and all that shit.
And Steve Brown's guidance.
With Steve Brown's guidance, I guarantee you after the embarrassment of the Tony Robbins thing, they are going to hide it. There's no... I'm going to be honest, and this is just from being in this business a long time, and I don't know if you had the same vibe I did. When I saw that Tony Robbins thing, I expected an immediate cancellation of the tour.